Hello, and welcome to Kiana Sky Speaks podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about evolution and how to evolve in a world of people who do not want to evolve and to stay asleep. Welcome back to the series called Awakenings. I am doing at least 4 to 5 episodes a week about how my transformative journey is helping me and how everything that I'm going through can help others. So, my podcast space is always going to be about soul surgery and helping souls evolve to the next level of the steps to evolution. So, this episode is about the messy middle. This is what happens after you awakening, and you realize the real work is just the beginning. To be honest, when I first awakened, I thought that awakening was going to be like gliding on a lotus through the cosmos. And at times when awakening is like that, that's more after the shadow work and all of that healing. And you will get that peace, but most likely at the beginning, it turns out that you feel like you're getting gut punched. Every other Tuesday, you lose people, you lose illusions, you lose comfort. But what do you gain? You gain clarity, you gain courage, and real freedom. And that's what this episode is about. The aftermath of awakening. So I'm going to go through my first 2 awakenings real quick about how I first awakened and how I'm awakened now. So the first time I was awakened, I had this opportunity to stay awake, but I decided to fall back asleep with drugs, with alcohol, with men, with things that didn't serve me, with relationships that didn't serve me. So that was when I went to Havenwick Hospital in Auburn Hills, and it's just a horrible place to be. It's underneath a ley line. Talking about it brings things, so I'm just going to be quiet. It's a mental health facility that I went to that did not serve me, and that's where I woke up for the first time. I was getting signs from spirit. I was getting signs to help the women with me, and I did, and I connected with those women, but also there was bad things to that where I wasn't grounding, and so what I needed to do was to ground, and I didn't, and I went crazy, and finally I came out of it, but I was still on medicine, which put me back to sleep. And just recently my second awakening happened on May 1st. After a lot of my friends died and my mom died, unfortunately trauma brings awakening, and that this has triggered me awake where I'm completely online with spirit and with my guides and with the connection to the universe, that I'm never going to fall asleep again. I'm never going to let myself go back to my soul being gone again. So that being said, I woke up and I feel like that this one was my heartbreak and the revelations and my ego death, and life never pauses. It never paused. I still have to pay my rent. I still have family drama. I got doubts, you know. People expect me to be fixed after this awakening, but healing is not linear. It comes in waves, and I don't have to be okay all of the time. And I used to spiritual bypass. I used to be all positive all the time, and that's not how it works. You have to incorporate the darkness to get to the light. You have to trudge through the darkness to get to the light. and I don't bring it up often enough, maybe, but I integrate the darkness a whole lot. And I face so much darkness that I'm ready to face the light, and I'm ready. No one told me after you awaken, you feel more raw than enlightened. I thought I was going to be a monk staring out at the world, knowing more and being happy about knowing more. But in fact, I'm not happy that I woke up completely. I'm glad I did. I'm very happy that I've woken up and now I'm doing my mission. But knowing everything about the world and how it works, it's not so fun. It's raw and real, and it's not fun. You see people differently. You see yourself differently. It's like your whole past self is staring at you like you changed, and you're looking right back at her and said, "You're damn right I did." Old friends fade, conversations get awkward. I crave solitude but feel lonely. It's normal, but it also can get very frustrating, being spiritual and not having a lot of connections. But also, I have a lot of connections online, and I'm very thankful for that. And just waking up is realizing you don't have many friends because of your spiritual path. And it's hard, but it's worth the all of the heartache. It's worth all the heartache. So once you wake up, the system doesn't just disappear. Like, there's still evil out there. You'll still be gaslit. You'll still be doubted. You'll be tempted to go back to sleep and numb your pain with whatever you started to numb it with. But will you? Will you numb yourself to get rid of the pain, or will you turn around and be different? Will you let this world drown out your healing, or will you notice that the world is loud and notice that it wants you to be compliant, but then now you will not stop yourself from being conscious? When I stopped apologizing for being different, that's when I really pissed people off. People started unfollowing me and blocking me and saying that I was stealing their ideas. They want you to care more about fitting into jeans than freeing your mind. Looks, fake stuff, all of that. I see right through it now, and I'm leaving it all behind. Every time I speak truth, I'm rewiring my brain, not just my brain, but a whole lineage of silence that was kept silent by society. And then I become a glitch in the matrix, literally. I rewire my mind, and that's terrifying to people who still live inside the wiring. Every time I speak my truth, every time I choose my truth, it shakes the matrix. Right now, I would be considered to be in a liminal space. I'm no longer who I was, but I'm also not yet who I'm becoming. I'm just in that liminal space. This space feels like dying, like, oh my goodness, it feels like I'm dying. And at one point, when I wasn't very good mentally, I looked up if I was dead on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was like, no, you're not dead. You're in a liminal space. And now I understand that I'm just changing from who I once was, and I'm finally rebirthing spiritually on my terms. I'm not going to confessional and saying I am a sinner and I need a savior. I'm claiming that I am my own savior, and I'm coming out of the ashes and rising once again. Finally, and never going back down. So this space is rebirth. It's not dying physically, but yes, it's dying and raising again spiritually. And I found out that it's okay to grieve the old self. But now I know that my old self, my new self, and my future self, we're all combined now. Of course, I miss her sometimes, the girl who didn't know better. Life was easier then, but I couldn't unknow what I know now. The version of me, she cries, but she doesn't shrink. She doubts, but she doesn't disappear. So if you could take anything away from this, take away that you can let yourself evolve, you can let yourself burn. You're not being dramatic, you're being reborn. And when you're waking up, you're not too much. So, how in the world to stay awake in a sleeping society? What I do is I create rituals that ground myself in truth. So, my rituals would be burning candle, standing on ground outside, grounding myself, no shoes, no socks, straight on grass, sun gazing, writing in my journal, praying, meditating, doing my podcast, anything that would keep me from going downhill again and falling back asleep with alcohol and drugs. And then I am definitely going to be cutting cords from what pulls back into the illusion. Exactly. Alcohol, bad friends, anything that does not serve me. And then I'm only staying around people that feel like clarity, that feel like love, hope, peace, and life. And then I'm never going to stop questioning. I'm going to keep questioning, keep feeling, and keep remembering. This journey isn't done yet. I'm just waking up to my mission. So imagine 10 years from now where I'm going to be. It's going to be higher than the sea, man. And then you don't need to be perfect. Just be present. You know, if the world calls you crazy, remind them that you're not here to fit in. You're not here to fit their mold, and you're here to melt that mold. You're not too sensitive. You're deeply tuned in. Stay that way. I'm going to end with an oracle moment. I am going to read you a little poem. I didn't wake up for aesthetics. I woke up for justice, for healing, for vision. I woke up to rip the illusion from my bones. And now I walk differently. I talk differently. I remember too much to go back. I know too much to stay small. Keep showing up, especially when you want to disappear. You didn't come this far just to doubt yourself again. The more awake you are, the more dangerous you become to everything that wants you powerless. Thank you for tuning into Kiana Sky Speaks podcast, and stay tuned for another episode